Patreon supporters. One of the reasons I have not been doing my video commentaries on poems every Catholic should know the last couple of weeks is I've been waiting to negotiate a little deal with Tan Books, St. Benedict Press. They're going to sponsor these readings, but you guys are going to get to hear and see my commentaries, hear more than see perhaps, because they're going to be in a podcast form. At any rate, we're going to work this out. Beginning next week, you'll get sneak previews at the entire series that I'm going to do on poems every Catholic should know before they're featured officially on the St. Benedict Press website. And my first post will be a Zoom interview with Joseph Pearce, my friend, who's the editor of that book and who's well known in Catholic circles. He's an author and did a great job editing that collection of poems. So I'm going to interview Joseph on Friday this week. You guys will get a sneak peek next week because you're supporters, and that will eventually be featured on the St. Benedict Press YouTube page. And there'll be more information on how you can, for instance, get a discount if you want to order Poems Every Catholic Should Know, either my audiobook version or or the printed version. I'm laughing because I was going to screen share something with you, but I don't know if I can find it. So I'm a top 40 vocalist. Okay, what this means is an audiobook I recorded for Tan Books, St. Benedict Press, within the last month or two, called "The Devil and Karl Marx" by Paul Kangor, hit number 34 on Audible last week. Paul Kangor was interviewed on Glenn Beck, and the printed book and the audio book shot through the roof. And I'm getting some good comments about my narration of his book. So there are something like 200,000 audiobooks on Audible. I've got a lot on there myself, but typically, how the heck do you break the top 40? My audiobook version of The Devil and Karl Marx was above Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, or whatever they call it. It was above Seven Habits of Effective 7 People, or whatever that is. It was selling more than the audio version of the Chronicles of Narnia, which is, by the way, an excellent series. They've got professional actors who do every book in the Chronicles of Narnia. So I am audiobook famous. I hope you start treating me better. Now, sadly, I get no royalties off of the sale of The Devil and Karl Marx. So my wife is totally unimpressed that I broke the top 40 on Audible. At any rate, I'm bragging about it to you, my Patreon supporters, because at least you will realize what an egomaniac I am and how much that means to me. Now, since I would normally be doing my Poems Every Catholic Should Know series, and I'm going to start that again next week so that you guys will be in on the early releases of these commentaries, today I wanted to feature some funny poems. Well, I don't know how funny they are. They're my own poems. My poems, are very deep. Now, I'm going to save my best poem, which is Susie at the Mall, for Christmas season. Some of you may have heard me do that. But I'm going to feature, since this is Poems Every Catholic Should Know, I mean, these are poems every Catholic should know. These are mine, at least a couple of them. There once was a girl from Duluth who had a great pain in her tooth. How did this occur? The dentist asked her. I was kicked in the face by a moose. There once was a mayor from Leavenworth who was running for mayor of heaven and earth. He'd buy votes for good luck. For a dozen, a buck. If a buck bought him 12, what's 11 worth? There once was a man from Peru whose humor was what you'd call blue. Told jokes without fear about Tigger and Eeyore, but his punchlines were all about poo. All right. A triolet for Lent. Triolets are a specific form of poetry where you have to repeat the first line in the fourth line, and then you have to repeat it again at the end. A triolet for Lent. Have mercy on me, Lord, a sinner. My Lenten vows I'm not observing. I say this grace tonight at dinner. Have mercy on me, Lord, a sinner. I break my fast and grow no thinner, for I have had a second serving. Have mercy on me, Lord, a sinner. My Lenten vows I'm not observing. A triolet with an agenda. Let's chase from every single parish hell and sin and holy fear. Let's make our architecture bearish. Let's chase from every single parish God Almighty. Then let's cherish moods and feelings vague, unclear. Let's chase from every single parish hell and sin and holy fear. So anyway, poems every Catholic should know. Okay, you guys are on the inside track. More later. And if the audiobook goes above number 34, I'm going to telephone each and every one of you at 3 o'clock in the morning and let you know the good news.